Can you hear that? Listen very closely to the ambience of this show. Beelzebub is currently with us, the Lord of the Flies. He's flying around, goading the mind of this man. And it's all in order to make me better at what I do. It's all to challenge me. You know, normally you get annoyed by a fly and they're just buzzing around you. And then they land somewhere on you, especially if you have no shirt on. And by the way, I've seen YouTubers that aren't really in shape, that look like me kind of, because I'm not really in perfect shape, as you can tell if you're watching the video. But I see these guys and you only see like this level. You know, you almost see their nipples. And then you wonder what the rest of their body looks like because they don't look like they're really in shape, you know. And they got this kind of skinny, fat type of body, and that's the kind of body that I have. And Anthony Fantano, as an example, one of them that just popped into my head, I've seen him do podcasts without a shirt on, and he goes to the gym and stuff, and he just looks disgusting. He just, no matter what he does, he looks disgusting. He could work out. He could do a perfect regimented workout. He could hire the guys that Chris Evans hires, that one Indian comedian guy hired to make him look like a superhero. Anthony Fantano could hire any of those guys and he'd still look like the way that he does. And he'd still give his reviews the same way. You know, there's no changing him. And I mean, you know, in some ways that's a good thing. You know what to expect from him. He can't change. I have a theory for that. Anthony Fantano can't physically change because you guys have seen him so much in a certain way that there's so many people watching Anthony Fantano. He has so many millions of views and followers that there's no possible way that he could change, because you guys are the viewers of Anthony Fantano, and whoever stumbles upon his channel and watches one of his videos is constantly manifesting the image of Fantano. So he's always going to look like he does, no matter how much he goes to the gym, no matter how many pictures he posts more videos of him reviewing albums and songs and music. He doesn't post as many of him in the gym. So if you see more images of him just being himself doing his reviews, you're going to manifest that for him. And he's going to continue to manifest that. So you guys are perceiving the reality of Anthony Fantano or of anybody or of me, right? But you see, like if you see just this level right here, you're like, he's not that impressive. You know, what does this guy do? What does he eat? How does he work out when he does work out? But I'll show you the rest of my body just in case you guys were curious, because as a viewer, this is something I'd like to see. I'd like Anthony Fantano when he's got his shirt off and you just see this level and it looks like shit. You know, it's like, show us, stand up. You don't have to be naked. It's just like, stand up. Let me see your waistline. You know what I mean? Let me see what the waist looks like so I can kind of figure out your physique a little bit better. So I'll show you. See, I have to speak into the mic. Got a little bit of fat hanging off the love handles here. See, that really bugs me. So I have a lot of flab around this area, you know. But you can see the abs a little bit. You can see that they might actually form one day. See that? You see, and I'm missing a rib right here. I'm missing a rib right there. That's where God took that from me and he created Eve. Excuse me. And I'm still looking for that bitch. She's wandering around the garden somewhere, wandering around the Garden of Eden. And I've been looking for her for millennia now. And I can't find the Garden of Eden. I've lost it. I don't know where the Garden of Eden is. Google Maps doesn't have it. I've typed it into Google Maps and nothing comes up. It's very frustrating, to say the least. I'm going to try it again. You know, Google Maps updates all the time. So that's what we'll scroll today is Garden of Eden. We'll see what comes up. if it shows me Iraq again, because it showed me Iraq last time, and I know for sure that's not the Garden of Eden. That cannot be the Garden of Eden. A place where we just go to war over oil. You know, all the death and bloodshed. That doesn't sound like paradise to me. So we're going to record the screen here, and we're going to look for the Garden of Eden, see what comes up. Garden. Did you hear that? That was my stomach. Jesus. Garden of the Gods. There's a place called Garden of the Gods, North 30th Street, Colorado Springs. Garden of Eden. Okay, I guess there's places called Garden of Eden. You know, you got one in Garden of Eden Cafe right here in my own city, in Bakersfield. Garden of Eden Adult Bookstore. Now that's 130 miles away. If that was closer, I'd go to that one. You got Palm Desert, Garden of Eden Spa. No, I want the mythological place. You know, this is. See, I guess they haven't updated. Last time it showed me Iraq. Maybe that's what the war is for. I don't know. Maybe we're killing each other over there to find the Garden of Eden because we know that it's there. We know that the Garden of Eden is in Iraq. I highly doubt it. It kind of looks like a desert over there. I haven't been there, but it looks like a desert. I wouldn't go, you know. So, yeah, the quick scrolls have a certain rules to them if you're unfamiliar. And I'll explain it just this one time since my show's still fairly small and new. And a quick scroll is a video that's a little less time than the normal episodes, which are, my normal episodes are about an hour long on average. So the quick scroll, I created a rule, 5 to 10 minutes. And I break the rules all the time because the rules are made to be bent and broken and reshaped and reformed. And the rules are just another part of reality that's malleable and shapeable. It's clay. You can form it and shape it however you would like. And I just had to go longer on that one. But I'm not going to go longer on this one. But I don't even know what was you hear Beelzebub? He's on my head. Can you hear him? Can you see him? There he is. That's the Lord of the Flies right there. Whenever you see this right here, people out there, whenever you see a fly like that, I want you to remember that it's Beelzebub, that it's a manifestation of an entity, and it's trying to get you to be better. It's trying to goad your mind so that it will create more ideas and like push back against you and annoy you and force you to think harder. Don't try to avoid that. Don't try to deaden that feeling. Don't try to distract yourself when that happens, when the fly goads the mind, so to speak. Let it crawl all over you. Let it make you feel uncomfortable. Let the idea permeate and sink in, and then you'll be able to find whatever it is that the fly was trying to show you. The fly is trying to show you something. What is that? Think about that. What is it? Quick scroll. I believe we're on number 9. Number 9. This, by the way, is John Lennon's favorite episode of my show. He told me. He said, before I recorded it, he said, Mark, you're going to record episode number 9. And you already know my whole history with the number 9. And the Beatles were around for 9 years. And I died 9 minutes to the day of the 9 calendar sequences of the 9 cycles of the moon. No, I'm just making that up. He didn't say that part. You see, I kind of just trailed off. My mind went on a tangent. But he did tell me that number 9 was going to be his favorite episode, his personal favorite of mine. So yeah, I have a connection to John Lennon through the dark arts. I don't have to draw a circle, though, because it's like John Lennon's not really a threatening person. I don't have to banish him afterwards. I keep him around. He comes and goes whenever he pleases. And he tells me, sometimes he'll reminisce on old recordings, old Beatles recordings, and he'll tell me like little secrets and little hints into the, under the hood of the Beatles, basically how it went down, and how much of a prick Paul McCartney was being to him. And because Paul McCartney seems like the nicer guy, you would see in interviews, he just seems like more of the polite person and more of the polite guy. And he's not, John Lennon says he's not. I don't know. I wasn't there. But John Lennon tells me through the seances, when I conjure him up, he tells me that Paul McCartney was not. They were both really hard-headed guys, so who knows? Who knows who's telling the truth? I believe John Lennon because I've never talked to Paul McCartney. I talked to John Lennon. So, John Lennon, I have to show loyalty to John Lennon because that's the homie, You always got to be loyal to your friends, so shout out to Paul. I'm glad you're still alive. I'm glad that they replaced you. I'm glad that you continued the legacy of Paul McCartney. We'll just say it that way. I am the Walrus. Goodbye. Love everything. Love everybody. I love all of you. And I love the fly that's making me uncomfortable right now. Hope you like my revealing of my body to you and some of my insecurities and my war. It's another thing. I'll say this before I leave. The war against fat that I've been fighting my whole life. As a chubby little kid, I hate the fat, and I will continue battling it. And why don't you battle it with me? Why don't you help me out here with this fight against the fat? See, we're not fighting the fly because the fly is making me better. We're fighting the fat because the fat is unhealthy. Causes heart problems, diabetes, illnesses, sickness, lack of confidence. You look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like yourself. I am not body positive until I get rid of this fat and I have abs. And when that day comes, I will show you.